In this episode, we will stand in the dock and discover a high-profile case in Hong Kong's history. Hi, I am Cindy, host of Discover Tai Kwun. We're now standing in front of the former Central Magistracy. The earliest magistrate's house, which included a jail, was built under the supervision of Captain William Kane in 1841 and was rebuilt at the current area in 1847. The design of the third-generation Central Magistracy, built in 1914, signified judicial power and the authority of the court. The new building opened for its first judicial sessions in April of 1915. Canopies in this building were initially secured by black tie rods. To strengthen their structure during conservation, the team carefully installed I-beams into the canopies and restored the original design of the tie rods. Although the existing tie rods don't actually provide support to the canopies today, they are essential in retaining the authenticity of the building. This staircase is an important landmark in Tai Kwun. Back in the 1970s, it appeared all over the news. At that time, the chief superintendent, Peter Godber, spent 21 years in the police force and suspiciously amassed 4.3 million Hong Kong dollars. To give you an idea, a bowl of noodles back then only costed 80 cents. Let's go up to take a look. Godber fled to the UK in 1973. He was extradited back to Hong Kong in January 1975 and was charged with corruption. He had his preliminary hearings right here in Central Magistracy. This photo was taken on the day that Godber came back for his trial and was escorted up this very staircase. On that day, the entire compound was under tight security. There was even a bomb threat that was called in before the trials. Thankfully, though, it was just a false alarm. The Central Magistracy we see today is the third generation of the building. At the beginning, there were only 2 courts on the ground level. By the time of its decommissioning in 1979, there were 6 in total. Today, there are 2 heritage storytelling spaces in this building. They're both connected vertically. On the ground floor, we have the courtroom, and in the basement, an old holding cell. The first trials at Central Magistracy took place in April 1915. Newspaper articles on that day described the facilities in the new building and recorded one of the first cases tried here. This case was of an expatriate who refused to pay a local rickshaw coolie and even assaulted him afterwards. He was escorted to the Central Police Station and had his trial right here at Central Magistracy. The expatriate was found guilty and received a fine. In the early colonial days, all magistrates were expatriates, but of course not everyone spoke English, so the role of the interpreter was extremely important. At least once a week, this building is taken over by students adopting different roles, such as lawyers, defendants, witnesses, or the jury. The Heritage Education Courtroom Theatre is a program that activates this historic court into a mock trial space for students to explore past cases, from 19th century cultural conflicts all the way to the abolition of the death penalty in Hong Kong. In the next episode, we will discover more about the third function of the compound, Victoria Prison, and learn about the conservation of the murals at the former superintendent's house. Stay tuned!